It is Campbell versus Gallo here on TSN 690. Our hot topic today, if Luke Hughes is a $9 million player, what does that mean for Lane Hutson? You could always reach us at 11690, and on X, we'll give it to you. Campbell, some of the answers are coming in on X.
Yes.
Devils fans insisted that Hughes is better than Hudson, so I say Hudson gets 8 years at $7 million per. I don't think Luke Hughes is a more impactful player than Lane Hutson. Do you? Campbell, Lane Hutson had 20 more points in his rookie season than Hughes had in year two. 20 more points. I still feel league-wide Lane Hutson does not get his just due.
Yeah, but Luke Hughes and Lane Hutson, I would put him in different categories for an offensive defenseman, no?
What do you mean?
Lane Hutson's at this level and Luke Hughes is at this level.
Yeah, so why are people saying that that Hughes is better? Because he's 2 inches taller?
No, because they think he's Quinn.
But he's not.
I know.
He's not Quinn. Heck, he's not even Jack.
I think he got that deal because they want Quinn so bad. I think that's to entice Quinn.
Stuart.
Does that make sense, though?
No, because you're going to need money to sign Quinn.
No, I get that you're going to need money, but the cap's going up, and for the Devils, their plan is Hughes, and Hughes, and they don't really care about anything else.
Right. I think Stuart Brooks makes a good point here on X. While I think Hudson is better, Hughes was drafted higher and is bigger. I throw 9.5 at him over 8 years. I don't know, man. If I'm Lane Hutson, I'm being patient here, and I'm just waiting, and I'm going to watch these salaries continue to increase. If the Canadians want to bridge me, fine. I'll bet on myself.
As for the size,
I'm so sick of hearing about the size.
Look. I know you feel a certain way about size in hockey players. I think sometimes it's a factor with some players when you want to talk about longevity, the way that they play, and everything. Everything that I've seen with Lane Hutson in 1 year of hockey, 1 year a little bit and change, everything that I've seen with Lane Hutson, he's one of those players where I just don't care about his size. There are players that I will be like, I don't know if the size is going to work. And I'll give you an example, and it's a different skill level, but like Sean Farrell. I loved his training camp. I thought he looked faster. I think he's got some sort of NHL game in him. What's that going to pan out to be? And I'm talking about forward and defense. But I will, think about it when they're looking at Beck or Kapanen versus looking at a Farrell, and I know it's unfair with centers and wingers. Size comes into my decision-making. Lane Hutson's at another level of talent that I just don't think it matters when it comes to size. Mm-hmm. It's the same conversation you could have, and I know at a younger age and when you're battling in, and there's a reason why Marty St. Louis goes undrafted and then battles for ice time with the Flames and then comes to the Lightning, and then you see it, and then you're like, yeah, size doesn't matter. Because you're at that level of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I just, when you're at that level of talent, I don't think it really, size, I'm over it with Lane Hutson. I think it matters with some players. I don't think it matters with him.
I don't even know if I think it matters with some players. I think with Hudson, if you want to look at him specifically, how often was he hit hard last year? It's hard to catch him, man. The only time I worry about size is when you look at team building. Mm-hmm. I don't think you could build a team with 3 Lane Hutsons on the back end. I think you need to build with size. I think it's important. I don't think you can draft the same player over and over. I don't think you could build with the same player throughout your lineup. But if you have a Lane Hutson, that's extremely valuable because it's hard to find an offensive player like that. At 11,690, if Hughes is at $9 million, Hutson 8.5. Can't base long-term salary based on 1 year performance. Well, the New Jersey Devils have signed Hughes after 2 years' performance. And after this year, he'll be in the same spot next summer as Hughes was in now. I'd be shocked if Lane Hutson signs a contract during the season. At this point, I really would be. I think Lane Hutson's offensive numbers are going to go up. I think he is going to be in the top 5 in points among defensemen in the National Hockey League. And I think he's going to cash in at some point. Canadians have control. He's RFA. Takes a long time to get to UFA. But Lane Hutson is a special, special talent. And if Luke Hughes is 9 and Canadians offer me anything less than 11, I'm not listening. I'm not listening if I'm the agent or if I'm Lane Hutson.
Hi guys, it's Enzo. I think Lane Hutson's going to get the same contract as Dobson. 9.5 for 8 years. Have a good one, guys. Ciao.
There you go, getting your answer to our hot topic of the day.
I wouldn't sign that. I wouldn't sign that if I was Hudson.
I would offer that if I'm the Canadians.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Completely agree about that.
Right?
But if I'm the agent, and my job is to maximize career earnings for my client, I'm not settling at 9.5, knowing that Luke Hughes just signed at 9. My client is younger than Dobson. Salaries are going up. And Cale Makar has yet to sign the big ticket that might pay him $18 or $19 million per year. I'm going to be patient with it. Now, you could have a situation, the boss is Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson hires the agent. And if Lane Hutson really wants to get a deal done, and he wants to sign with the Canadians long term, and he wants to do the Canadians a favor with the salary cap because he wants to win a championship, that's his prerogative. But if my job is to get that player the most money, 9.5 is not the most money he can get on a long-term deal.
I think you mentioned Cale Makar, and it's very unfair to label Lane Hutson to Cale Makar, but what Cale Makar will do in 2 years is set the standard for the top-end defenseman, kind of what McDavid will do this summer, right? McDavid, whatever he decides to do, he's setting the standard for the top end. And you mentioned $19-20 million. I think it's a very strong possibility when it comes to that because Cale Makar's that special. If you're looking at the way that the market has gone, the smart play here for Lane Hutson might be a bridge deal.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
2-3 years, bridge deal, knowing that you're not going to be a UFA at the end of it, but knowing that that next big contract will be insane. Because the market will be set by someone that's better than you. I think that that's something to look at, 100%. You can answer at 11,690.
Messages coming in at 11,690. $12 million over 8 years for Lane today. $13 million if they want to wait until the end of the year. From Paul in El Perot. See, Paul, I think, is starting to be more realistic than some of the fans that want to get Lane Hutson on a bargain deal. I'd see a scenario where Canadians brass sees Dobson's $9.5 million contract as the ceiling. Could Hutson ask for $11 million max length contract? Man, if the Canadians see Dobson's contract as being a max, then they're not looking at the trends. Salaries go up. Salaries always go up. And if Lane Hutson signs a bridge and waits 2 years, the salary is going to be higher than it is today. So Hughes is paid the same as Makar, ... Yeah, right now, which is why I keep saying contracts go up. Like, I think Hughes is a good player, and I think we might look at this Hughes contract as being a good one because it's an 8-year deal. I've said this so many times. If you're looking at making the most money, and you have confidence in your ability, and you feel as though you're generally healthy, and you're not fearful of injury, some players want the stability.
Yep.
And I don't blame them. That's fine. It's a lot of money that they're going to be making. If it's $7 million, it's a lot of their money that they're going to be making. But if you truly want to maximize and make as much money as possible, the model to follow is what Austin Matthews and his agent have been able to do with the contracts between Matthews and the Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews' career earnings, he owes a lot to his agent. Because that's an agent that did the most for the client as far as making money. Sign shorter deals, get multiple deals, watch the cap go up, watch the value of the player grow, make money, make money, make money. 8-year deals, for me, for the players, are ill-advised. Again, player wants security, fearful of injury, fearful of being erratic in his production point-wise. Take the 8-year deal. It's cool. No issue with it. But if I really believed in a player like I believe in Lane Hutson, I would be pumping the brakes on him signing for 8 years. I'd recommend a bridge.
Are you going to go into player agency here, Gallo, with all these recommendations for Lane Hutson?
No, Campbell, because I've read through the CBA once, and once was enough. I don't want to have to treat the CBA as a Bible.
You don't want to.
The CBA is
too much for you?
It sucks to read.
That's why I have like 2 people that I know personally that are capologists and know it. So I don't when I have a CBA question, tick 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 tick. Hey, can you help me out here?
Yeah,
no problem. This is what it means. Thank you. Because I don't want to read it. You have read it.
Yeah.
And that's why organizations have this, because they need people that know the ins and outs. That's why you're always like, oh, loophole. They have to fix the CBA. These people read it. They go, you can't do this anymore, but you can do this. And it gets longer and longer because they need to write new rules that are put into place. Go into the LTIR, what they've done, cap circumvention. They're not circumventing the cap. They're just actually following the rules, and there wasn't a rule written in place, and now you have to write a new rule. That's why it becomes so complicated. But that's a big question. Lane Hutson. How much money? And now with these contracts out, does that make, as you have alluded to, Lane Hutson wait? And if Lane Hutson waits, how nervous will Montreal Canadiens fans be? I don't think they should be that nervous because you mentioned it. RFA, not a UFA. There is power to the organization in an RFA. However, there's a lot of power to a superstar player that's an RFA.
Mm-hmm.
Regular RFA players, less power. Superstar players have the power. Superstar players, UFA, they're driving that boat. So, yes, the Canadiens should be the ones initiating conversation as soon and as often as they can. But you are completely right. When Lane Hutson and his agent could just put their feet up and say, we're good. Don't worry about it. We're not in a rush. Don't worry. We're Canadians. But we're not. We don't feel pressured right now. And we're starting to see that now more and more, where organizations on July 1st, a year before a contract's done, they want to sign them as soon as possible. And we talked about it this summer on July 1st, July 2nd, July 3rd, July 4th. Would Lane Hutson's deal get done? The fact that it's not done and we're heading into the season, Mitch, I'm with you. I don't think this gets done until May next year. And it will be the biggest conversation for the Montreal Canadiens organization if he doesn't sign by the end of the season.
I don't think it's going to get done by May of next year, and take a look at the others.
Mm-hmm.
Campbell, this probably gets done in September of next year. See Hughes, see McTavish, et cetera, et cetera.
You could continue to answer our hot topic at 11-690. You could use the talkback on the iHeartRadio app. Luke Hughes signs a big contract with the Devils. What does that mean for Lane Hutson? Speaking of Lane Hutson, scored again last night.
Nice shot. Good screen in front. Get it through traffic.
I know that you mentioned you think maybe we're looking at 10 to 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 6 last year.
Is his shot harder? Likely a little harder. Or is his shot more effective, what you've seen in the preseason? Now watch the 2 goals that he's scored. Watch the adjustment he makes at the blue line to create the shooting lane and wait for the screen to sit in front. Both times, there's an adjustment before he takes the shot. I think that's almost what he's worked on versus the, people are saying, the power of the shot.
Whatever it is, he worked on it. He worked on his ability to score more, and he's going to score more than 6. I'll guarantee that.
You risk having to make a 50-50 play there, and that 50-50 resulted in Demonov going down and a power play for the Habs.
Here goes Lane Hutson up high, shot, scores! Lane Hutson, shot through traffic right off the faceoff. Power play goal for Montreal makes it 4-0.
And how much more effective will the power play be? Because this is what's happened. Last year, knowing he wasn't a shooting threat, everybody, this is one of the reasons why I think the Canadiens, even though it was a good power play, ended up 20th in the league on the power play, is because they deferred to the pass and they let Lane have that open top thinking from the blue line center point he's not going to be able to score. You get the right screen, the right body, and you're going to be able to provide some offense from the blue line by scoring goals like Lane Hutson has done in the preseason. I think that's an indication that the Canadiens' power play is ready to make another jump, not just because of Demidov, not just because you've got Dobson. I think the fact that Lane Hutson's been able to find the proper shooting lane and the right screen in front, he'll be able to provide more offense, and that means defending him at the top of the blue will open things up for your Caulfield, Laine, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, whoever you want in a shooting position.
No doubt about it. I was talking about this with JP O'Connor yesterday. If that's a threat now, watch out. If you can't cheat for the pass, and Lane Hutson is going to be able to score at a greater clip than a year ago, that power play is going to be better, and the Canadiens' offense is going to be better.
It is one of the topics we will have during Habs Lunch. Habs Lunch coming up in about 20 minutes' time. Mitch, Brian Hayes interrupted us earlier, right? He came on a little bit earlier than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Overdrive. He's got things to do, people to see.
Yeah.
So he took the spot of editor headlines. Are you ready for editor headlines?
Oh, yeah. I got 3 good ones today, Campbell.
Ooh. I don't know if I have good ones.
Oh, no. No.
Send in yours at 11690.